My name is Russell Tobe, and I attend Full Sail University for my Bachelor of Science in Film. I was born in Philadelphia, but I was raised about a half an hour outside of the city. The reason why I really got into film was because of my dad. My dad started out as as one of the directors at Fox 29, which is the Fox station that is in Philadelphia itself. He worked his way up and he eventually became the producer, one of the producers. And I've always enjoyed it. I've grown up with it. And I always used to go to work with him, and I know the entire cast, if you want to say, of the film crew and the news anchors themselves. But I really got into it more and more when I was really younger. So that's really how I became a big film person. When it comes to public speaking, I really don't have that hard of a problem speaking in front of people so much anymore. I used to be terrified of the idea of having to give a speech to an audience. But the first time I actually really gave a public speaking would have been in 5th grade. I was in a play that my church was doing at the time, and I was one of the main characters, and I shook so much. I shook so hard every time right before I got up on stage. But then once I actually got up onto the stage and started saying my lines and getting into my character, I had no problem. But it was always that anxiety right before. Even to this day, I get anxiety before I get up on stage or I give a presentation. I shake. That's what I do. But once I get up there and I really start going with it, I really have no problem speaking in front of a group, especially if it's like in a classroom. Because a lot of the times people say that people don't want to see you fail because it reminds them of a time of when they failed, or it reminds them of, I can fail this too. So I feel like the environment of a classroom is very different than a stage, but when you're up on stage, you are giving your lines, people are there to be entertained, and they really enjoy it. I really think that the anxiety I get is the fear of failing. I hate failing. It's one of my biggest fears. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But so I get really shaky, like my heart, I get sweats, my hands become all sweaty. So I take really deep breaths in my nose, out my mouth. I mean, it calms me down, but it doesn't really stop the anxiety. What actually stops the anxiety for me is actually being up there and giving the presentation to all the people, or even acting to all the people. It's what I really like to do. I don't have a problem with it. It's always that fear that I might fail. To beat my fear,